One of the questions I get asked a lot is, what is your favorite book that you'd recommend? And my answer is always going to be a journal. Journals are a very powerful tool, and it's one of the ways that you can understand who you were in the past, who you are right now, and what your goals are. It's something that I didn't take on until probably earlier last year, or actually earlier 2020, early 2022. And it's just something that I didn't think I was ever going to do. It's something that I thought of like my sisters would do, or it's something that girls do in their diaries. They would just write their thoughts and ideas in a journal. But as I got older, I began to see and understand that more prolific writers or successful people were writing down their thoughts, their ideas, and unpacking who they were within these very books. So I was taking part in a meditation course, and one of the things that they recommended was journaling. There was two types of ways of journaling. One was free-form journaling, and one was prompt journaling. Prompt journaling is, you have a prompt, you have an idea, and you expand on your ideas on whatever that prompt is. The other version, which I took more towards, was free-form journaling, and it's whatever thoughts and ideas comes up, you just write it down. When I first started getting into a journal, I didn't know what to write. I felt this sort of like writer's block, and I'm an artist, so I just knew how to draw. So I just started to sketch and doodle and started to take shape and form, and I started to come up with some very powerful traumatic blocks that I had in the past. And I would finish my drawing and take a look at it, and then I would write about it. What did each of these imagery or symbols mean to me? And I began to do that more and more often. It became like a daily practice. Over time, I didn't need to represent my thoughts and ideas visually anymore. I could start writing about them. And what I found was that through writing in a journal, I had so many different thoughts and ideas that are moving at such a rapid pace, so many ideas that I couldn't really sort through them at a reasonable pace. The way that I imagine journaling is kind of like Tony Stark, where he just kind of lays out all of his imagery or his ideas on this board, and he can kind of sort through them and pull them out. Writing, I think, is the same exact way, where now you're taking all of your thoughts, however chaotic or jumbled that they are, and you get to write with it in a pen. There's something very archaic with a pen, where as you're writing, you're streamlining all these thoughts into a little funnel into this pen, and you can write word by word, sentence by sentence, what your thoughts and what your ideas are. If you're having a hard time knowing what to write, just write whatever is coming out. And at some point, you'll get to a level where you can start to think about all these different ideas, and whatever you're writing becomes very concrete. You're bringing it into reality. You can read and see it on a piece of paper. You can sort through your thoughts, ideas, and your feelings, and now you can make a decision, discern between what is important to you, what is true, and what you want to actually put down on pen to paper. And through this tool of journaling, I found that there's three different forms of it. When you're journaling, the first is going through the past through introspection or observation. You're just making notes, and these are all things that have happened in the past, your feelings, your thoughts, your ideas, why you are where you are today. The second part is questioning and understanding with the present context. So with everything that you've learned, whoever you are today, the person that is able to make decisions and change the trajectory of your life, what would you question about the things that you have done in the past or how you're going to move forward? And the third part would be planning for changes and goals in the future. So I started to use journaling at some point for planning my day, planning my goals. And as you begin to have these questions and you understand who you were in the past, now you can begin to create solutions and take actionable tasks. So you have these questions about who you are or what you want to do. And sometimes that's where people get stumped. That's where I was stumped. I was stuck at a certain point of who am I and what do I want? How do I want to change my life and to move into a different direction? And as I began to write down those questions, I could begin to break them down and answer them. And as I began to write them down, I noticed that some questions were harder to answer. I was blocked again, but then I would just start to write down my very thoughts and ideas and pick apart which ones made more sense, which ones represented me, how did I want to move forward. And it's just through this journaling process where you get to understand yourself more. There's no other book out there that can talk about who you were, who you are, and who you're going to become. Every other book out there is going to come off of everyone else's experiences, and those books are very useful. I've read a lot of books, and it's helped me get new perspective and ideas on how I want to live my life today and in the future. It's maybe understand myself better in the past, but you're going to get to a point where I believe journaling is such a powerful tool for you to be able to understand yourself better, ask better questions, and create a direction and a path towards the best version of yourself.